Got a little frosty last night. Well, I'm glad I went out and marked things like I did. This is the next installment in the tie cord yard series. I talked about the spacing on paper, but I wanted to give you an idea what it looks like in real life. So, these gates here, these posts, are the western face or western line of my fence, or will be, as got to clear some trees yet. As I said, you want 4 foot of walk space from your fence over to where your cord will reach. So that mark there is 4 foot. What I did is add a 300-foot tape measure. You don't need that. You really only need a 20-footer. But I went from this post over 4 foot and went over 6 foot. That's going to be my first cord. And once I establish that first cord, I just got to measure in increments of 17. So I did that all the way down there. And then what I did is I measured from this line of trees to that line of trees and found center, which is right here. And I did the same down there at the end of the trees because there's clearings in both spots. I then drove a stake at the center point there and here where I knew I could find center between the trees. Then I ran a string line so that I could establish where my string and the rest of my line would be going up the rest of the way. There's enough space in here. My fence is actually about 199 feet from fence line to fence line. So I'll be able to do 11 6-foot cords in one line. And I should be able to set up 4 lines within this space once I'm all said and done. I'm going to leave this area here that's got all these erratic younger trees for shade, for additional stag pens, that kind of thing. And also down here at the end, if I were to go further from where the old fence line was, I could probably squeeze in another cord. But instead, what I'm opting to do is I'm going to stop with my last cord here. And what that'll do is that'll give me enough space along this east line. I'll be able to run a row of 4x4 stag pens from north to south. And more than likely, I'll be able to do the same thing on this north line once I get it strung up and find out where my tie cord line will lie. Pay no attention to the orange snow fence and this line of posts here. That was here when we moved in. I just haven't pulled it out yet. That line back there is going to be the actual back line. But there'll be a line going through here, a line going through there, a line going through here, and a line going through here. I guess I haven't really talked much about gates though. Yeah, you may have noticed I've got a 14-foot cattle gate up there at the start of this on the west end. It's not hung yet, but that's where it's going to go. Reason being is that's going to be the best way to access this area for mowing, and I wanted to put in a gate large enough that I can get my tractor in here, because inevitably I will have to have a tractor in here after winter storms to take down branches, that kind of thing, or my pickup, I'm cutting up fallen trees. Now, back in this northeast corner, I've got just a little walk gate. Seems like kind of an odd spot for it. I mean, it's on the edge of the property, it's facing a bunch of fields. Why would I put something clear out here? Well, if you're dealing with some stags or some young birds that haven't been handled and they get away from you, do you really want to walk all the way out there and through that cattle gate and then through the brush and all the way around this way? Or do you want to just go right here where the bird is? My point exactly. The only reason I've got this wood post here is because that is where the old fence line was. It actually ran right through here. I think they must have had this split up for goats or something, or sheep at one time, because there was a fence line here and a fence line here. I'm assuming there used to be a fence line back there because it's pretty cleared out, but it was gone when we moved in here. But that should give you an idea of what this is actually going to look like when you start digging. Look at the video on Introduction to Tie Cords. It'll talk about how far down you're going to have to bury your anchors. I'm going to go right on the string with the center of my anchor every time. And then what I'll be doing with the barrels was explained on paper in one of the earlier videos as well. But basically, you'll be anchored here. You'll pull it up to your barrel to where it looks like it'll be comfortable. So I figure my barrels are probably going to sit right along here, which is why you got to look up and make sure you don't have any low-hanging tree branches